Nerazzurri fans from all over the world, welcome to the Interglobe for the pre-match of Torino-Inter, the last match of this year's Serie A. It's a pity on one side that the championship is finishing, but it's also a pleasure because we really never had the chance to win it since the end of last year. So it was kind of after the 4th of January when we won with Napoli, and we reopened the whole discussion about who was gonna win, because we were, I think, 8 points behind at that point. After that, we just collapsed. So I'm almost happy that this season is over. It takes 21 days to create an habit in life in general, they say. So, since February, we haven't played a game 7 days after the previous one, since February. This means for me that tomorrow it's important to see almost all of the players that will play in the final of the Champions League playing a bit of the game, because I think that it's important, because of what I just said, to keep the tension high and also the mental mechanisms lubricated. Torino scored 4 goals in the last match with Spezia at Spezia, so it's a dangerous team even if it doesn't have to ask much from Serie A anymore. Juric is a very respectable coach who stemmed out of Gasperini's strategy and evolved it a bit. He is a bit more cautious in defense, and therefore the games of Torino compared to the one of Atalanta are a bit less spectacular, but I like him a lot. He's a great coach, tough, and they play with the 3-4-2-1, which is a module that puts us a bit in trouble when we have to build up our plays, even though, as we know, we are the best team in Serie A for building up plays that lead to the goal. And so we're going to have to be careful when we build our plays, but I'm confident because we're going to have De Vrij playing, and I like the way he's playing lately, and I think he can do a good job in directing our defense and starting our actions. Torino scored 42 goals, which is a really little amount, and this is one of the problems of this module, that it's difficult for the forward to score many goals because he's often isolated, and so it's not easy. If you add that the forward of Torino is Sanabria, who is not exactly like in Gasperini's teams, like a Zapata, like a very strong and physical player who actually scores quite a bit. If you don't have that resource, it becomes difficult to have a fruitful 3-4-2-1. On the other hand, let's have a look at our lineup. It's going to be probably Andanovic in the goal. As we said, De Vrij, Darmian and Bastoni in defense. In midfield, probably Gosens on the left and Dumfries just for a little part of the game, and then hopefully Bellanova on the right. And in midfield, Gagliardini for sure, together with probably Brozovic and Çalhanoğlu, and then one of them will leave the place to Asllani in the second half. I don't know, let's see what Simone will choose. I trust him completely, as we all do after the results he's bringing. And forward we're going to have De Lula, probably the last time we see De Lula on a starting lineup this year, because I don't see why Simone should change his convictions at the very last moment of a season that was so successful. So I don't see how Lukaku could play despite having numbers that are much better than Dzeko lately. Anyway, let's stick to the Torino game. It's going to be tonight at 6:30, and I hope that we can make at least 1 point, because this would mean to be on top of Milan for this season, and as you know, I'm very sensitive to this subject, so let's hope it's gonna happen. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please punch the like button, subscribe, it's very important for me, and leave a message to tell me how to make these videos better. That's all, and as always, Forza Magica Inter. Ciao!